Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm still waiting for my brothers here so that we can have a conversation. In the meantime, I believe and I hope you are doing fine. Today, we want to discuss a few news that are making headlines in the country and see what is the way forward, because especially when it comes to politics, nothing happens not with a reason, and out of that reason you would predict what is coming in the near future or what will be coming soonest. Let me also take this opportunity for everyone who is joining us, and I would like to say that we are streaming this on two platforms, that is Kikao na Sauti and also Brother Benson Media. So you might be in those two platforms, and we will appreciate your contribution. Now, let's go to the big stories that are making headlines today in our news. I would say that the news bulletin today, our news. This is what I would start with. This is from yesterday. A massive crowds rally for Sifuna in Ruto's strongholds. So that is also making a headline in the news today. Goons disrupt budget forum at Nairobi Cathedral. I think you've seen these videos, especially there was a forum that was organized by All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi, that they were going to discuss about the 4.8 trillion budget that was read in the parliament by the CS for Treasury, that is John Badi. But in the process of discussion, there were goons that came and disrupted the conversation that was going on, and there's so many issues that has been raised. People have pointed fingers at politicians, and one of them uh, uh, was arrested, and some sources reveal that he has been released. Hey, Sankara, where are you at? I don't know whether you can join the show. Let me know if you can join the show so I can share the link. You can even join via audio. Just let me know so that we can have some discussion here for at least uh, for at least at least unasema aje, those who are John Buddy's goons. Yeah, because it's a conversation that is going on, Sankara. How could because like something that I believe, Moshemiwa Sankara, is that there is no way in which a group of young men can just decide to ferry themselves in that forum and disrupt those meetings. And what was the intention? Because after reading the budget, one thing that should happen is that people should discuss and see where the loopholes is, and even give their views, because the constitution of Kenya give us the right to associate, the right of information. So majority of Kenyans went there, and they were going to get information, or they were going to listen. Yes, the ruling class wants to manage the people through threats. And for how long? For how long, Sankara? For how long are they going to do that? Because like people tend to get information. Yeah. If you read the budget, what was the fear, or even the person who might have be behind this? What could be the fear? And remember, we are talking about the Goonism, that we are seeing the rise of Goonism. And who should we blame? The ministry that is concerned. Today I saw the CS for Interior was talking, and I don't know whether it was making sense. I don't know, Sankara, how are you in a position to even to join the show via audio so that I can share with you the link? So you join so we can discuss about it. All right, thank you so much for that. And going back, and I could give you a summary. On June 12th, suspected thugs stormed public forum hosted by Kenya Human Rights Commission at All Saint Cathedral in Nairobi, targeting discussion on Treasury SCS John Badi's Kenya shillings 4.8 trillion budget. They targeted that. Uh, the CCTV captured the attackers, forcing entry at around 9 a.m. And around 9 a.m., vandalizing materials and fleeing after police fired warning shots. One was arrested on site with the two in custody as investigations identify faces and bike plates. Church leaders called it a disgression of sacred place and demanded arrest of sponsors, including government official named by detainee. So there was one government official that was named by the detainee that was behind this, you know. So how can people now be have that people have that freedom of discussion, especially if you discuss or if you want to get information, somebody would send you the goons. But why have we resorted to this issue of goonism that we are seeing even the police officers? And what do we expect? What country are we breeding? Is there scare that people are scared, or somebody who was this scared by discussion that was happening, and why did he have to do that? So, and when you look at and where we call, we say that we are democracy, we are a democratic country. No democracy, and I believe no democracy can survive the disgression of its sanctuaries. You know, how can we say that we are democratic, yet that democracy, it is infringed? Today, also, I saw there was a meeting in State House with human rights, and they were talking about the compensation of the victims. And also, this is something that's also they should talk about, the rise of Gunism. And you wonder who, how can this one be wiped out of existence? So that is something that is should be discussed, and why the fear. And today, when I want to quote, I was listening to an interview that was held today at one of the TV station, and the Reverend Canon Evans Omondi reveals that. Now get the information. Reveals this. This is what Reverend Canon said. He's in the TV, not my words. This is his words. That Reverend Canon Evans Omolo reveals that the man who was arrested at Old Saint Cathedral on Friday was released yesterday on instruction that the matter needs to be killed. What the matter need to be killed? The discussion or the invasion when walikuwa wameenda pale cathedral, and they went ahead and paid at least 24,000 for two gentlemen. They were reimbursed, those who lost their phones when reported to the police station. That's according to Canon. They were reimbursed the 24,000 for their phones that were taken away from them. So how then are we going to, how then are people going to deal with the issue of goonism? Because if we reach an extent whereby we reward bad behaviors, yeah, because that is a reward, and you don't make them follow the real path to justice, yeah. So does it mean that our moral has really decayed? So that is something that also is discussion. On the same discussion, also, I listened to the MP Nelson Koech, and the Nelson Koech, this was words that were made by Nelson Koech. These are not my words. The Nelson Koech was arguing this, that the Anglican Church should should keep off politics and focus on their purpose and pray for us. So, in Nelson Koech's view, he feels that the church was involved in uh, uh, politics, so they should keep off the politics and keep on praying. That is what the Anglican. That is what. Remember, if you remember Nelson Koech, he also doubles up as the chair. He also double up as the chairs of National Assembly, especially National Assembly Defense Intelligence Foreign Relations Committee chair is the chair that he's on defense. And remember also, he was also at some point given the how the same quiet, you remember, who said the police should shoot to kill and later apologize on his reckless remark. So he has always been making the some reckless remark. So that is him. And if you look at this critically, there must be a politician who might be involved in this. And now you want to rule and you become a leader. So that is what we have in the country. And this is a member of parliament. Remember, the constitution usually gives the people the power. The power has been donated by people, yeah, and those powers, the people have delegated those powers to the members of parliament, which means when they were having this discussion at St. Cathedral, they were discussing about issues that are affecting them, and their meeting was stormed by goons. And it would be better if the members of parliament, especially, would take that in so seriously that they even summoned the CS so that the CS could answer this. But now you find here a member of parliament, instead of condemning, but is saying that the church should keep off from politics. So that is what we have. So that is another thing that we are the news that are making headlines. That is very good. Zimbabwean tycoon Chivayo linked to um, almost 2.9 US billion JKA expansion. Those are just allegations that are coming, or those are reports that are trending. So, so that is one thing. Sankara, where are you? We don't have parliament. So, what is going to happen if we do not have parliament? Because like they are the people who their parliament is where the views of the people, they should fight for the people. And so where are we at? Maybe Sankara, where are we if we do not have the parliament? Hmm. If we do not have the parliament, where are we at? Hmm. So let us know if we hatuna parliament kwa saa hizi. And what should we do? What should Kenyans do? All right, that is also something that is making the headline. Okay, yesterday it was a very busy weekend. As you know, the Linda Mwananchi was in Thika, that is Kiambu County, and United Opposition were in Western Kenya, and the politics was politicking, and some of the I would say some of the takeaways from especially the Linda Mwananchi that we saw, especially in Thika. One, we saw the governor, Irungu Kangata, was present in that rally. And something that you always have to know, especially in politics, when you see any politician joining any factions, um, then be just know that there's something that is happening. Okay, let me share. Can you? Okay, I'm sharing the link on your. Let me share the link on your. Okay, I saw. Let me say share the link on your on your WhatsApp. Just check it right now. Let me just hold on a little bit, my brother. Hold on a little bit. Then I can share it on your. So that you can even join via audio if you are not a place whereby you can use your camera. Let me just bear with me. Let me share this with Sankara so we can have like a discussion here for 30 minutes. That is worth it. Uh, okay, just check that. I'm still waiting for you. Just check. That is the link that I've shared. Can you try to join via audio so we can have discussion here? Hmm. Let me see. I'm still waiting for Sankara so that we can talk about politics of Gunism and religion. How what happens when Gunism become the order of the day, especially in yes, Sankara, can you kindly check if you've received the link? Kindly, please. All right, thank you so much. I'm still waiting for you. As we wait for Sankara, let's also go back to the news that are making headline. There was also today, Oburu was in State House, and this is what Oburu said. Let's Kenyans pay the police who protect them during demonstration, not the police who kill them. Let Kenyans also know that when you go to demonstrate peacefully, you don't carry machetes, stone, or weapon. That is what Oburu is saying. They were in a state house. Yes, I'm still waiting for Sankara to come and join the show so that we can continue and have conversation about what is happening. As I was saying earlier, at rally of Linda Mwananchi yesterday in Thika, we saw the presence of Irungu Kangata. And when we talk about Irungu Kangata, the governor of Muranga, there are so many things that comes to our mind. Especially, remember when there was a BBI during the handshake between the late Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Irungu Kangata wrote a letter to the president, especially advising him on the BBI. Later, he joined UDA, and they end up winning the presidency. And some few months ago, Irungu Kangata also called a presser, and he said that he's not going to run on a UDA ticket, but he's going to support the UDO still supports the president. And yesterday we saw him at Linda Mwananchi. What does that one mean? Let me see if I can get. Hey, Sankara Barigani.
Mzuri, let me turn my camera up the other side.
Yeah,
The
just
way
what
you
you can.
told me, or it's okay.
No, what you can do, go and unlock the rotate so it can rotate by itself.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I've done. So you can
Oh,
see me.
I can see you well. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Yes.
I'm in the capital or my own capital. That is home.
Chiga,
So
tell
I'm
them
seated next
Chicago.
Chicago. I'm seated next to my village mansion, and I just overheard what you were discussing, and I'm so pissed off with the goon thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so Kenyans could no longer congregate and speak about issues affecting them as a country, because the moment Kenyans start to discuss something, goods have been sent, and people have lost phones, people have lost tooth, people have lost. I mean, where are we headed as a country? Dimwits are in charge, and they believe in no negotiation. So they just believe in the Kiganjo curriculum, where force supersedes knowledge. You don't
So
force people into a direction, you let people speak. What is it that they are hiding in the finance bill that they do not want people to discuss? These are
Limbo,
not alien citizens. These are Kenyans. They have gone to a church of all the places. How insecure is Kenya to an extent that public discussions could only take place in a church?
now, let me, to begin with, in the first place, who is in right senses would just decide to sit down somewhere and give instruction, especially for these young people or these goons to go and interrupt a discussion on the matter that touching on the issues of the people, because the people that were discussing this, these are people who are going to pay the taxes. Why? Who is that in his right mind?
Bram, I mean, sorry, not Bram, Ben.
Inafaa
Uh,
huko kwa Brian tutamtafuta tumwambie kwamba
I'm
hii.
calling you Bram. You know,
Mhm, mm,
Abraham Lincoln gave us a brief definition of democracy as a
mm,
government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
mm,
In that essence, you read our Constitution 2010, provisions of Article 1. The
yeah,
sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya.
mhm,
That alone stands out.
mm,
So when people gather to discuss matters affecting them, it's only fair that you let them speak in as much as you may not agree to them. You know, I do believe it is
mhm,
the art of a civilized mind.
mhm,
For example, of a tax part, oh, sorry, he was called an expert, come
mm,
tax part.
mm,
It is the civil because he believes, I believe he's educated if he's not learned.
yeah,
It is the art of a civilized mind to entertain other people's thoughts and opinions
mm,
respectfully, in as
mm,
much as you may not agree to them.
yes,
You do not have to shut them down. The issue of goons is something that need to be looked into carefully because we are in the we are staring at a state of 80. And I want to tell you, history denotes that these goons do not build themselves. They will
yeah,
transform from goons to bandits, from bandits to terrorists. And
yeah.
once they're done eating us, they will go for the dog owners. We do
Now,
not have to subject people to violence, like what I just recently observed in Kakamega, where school bus was waylaid, stoned, and students at in the name of goons suspecting that the students might have come from the president's rally or whoever's rally. Where we are dead as a country, where the sanctuary of the church, the the institutions of learning, we are handing over power to goons. I, as Sankara, cannot give my independent opinion on what's happening in the country just
mhm,
because some silly, thick-headed human being somewhere has been given 500 to cause chaos. Don't you see we are building a, a violent nation? Because soon things will erupt. People will confront goons and we will lose our beautiful country called Kenya. So this is not something that we need to take lightly. I am so pissed off the moment I hear the word goons, because these are people who do not reason. But again, it begs the question: why do we even have goons in the first place?
Sankara,
We have goons
I
because
think
they
sorry, let me just cut you off. I think these goons are reasoning, because the reason why I say they might be reasoning is because when you are giving, when you are procuring them, there's amount that you have to agree with them. So you try to reason with them and say that, okay, this is the best thing that we could offer you.
yes.
So I think they reason and they know what they are going to do, you know, and the instruction that they are given, they are under instruction, because you cannot tell me, Sankara, that uh, you can get almost over 30 30 members group that are reasoning the same without them you having, I mean, like you, without you having conversation with them, that they just decide.
My
Yeah,
my point, Ben,
yeah,
is the genesis of goonship.
yes,
It speaks about a neglected population. Young
yes.
people, we are talking about mental health of men this month. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Who speaks about men? Who speaks about young people? Who ensures that they are well protected? Who ensures that young people's needs are met? We've neglected people through an education system that has empowered classroom knowledge but
Mm-hmm.
not skills. The economy is where it is at some sharp corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's only working in state house and the people in government. Their
Yeah.
economy is working wonderfully.
Mhm.
But these people, they need to I mean, to meet the basic needs of life. They need to eat. They need to drink, get water. They need shelter. I mean, so those who read the Bible, it is said that an idle mind is a devil's workshop,
Yeah.
and the devil makes very beautiful chairs there, e.g., the
Mhm.
murders we see goons committing.
Mhm.
So, not unless we address the root cause of goonship, there is no single day you are going to give an empowered mindset 200 bob to cause chaos. I'm telling you, it will never happen. A young person working and earning a salary of 45,000 will not create time to go and cause mayhem because of 100 shillings. But a
But
young person depressed and sunk into drugs sees
Mhm.
100 shillings as a life saving opportunity. And at the instance of instructions from the bosses, they
Yeah.
can even behead you. So,
Mhm.
we are tackling joblessness,
Mhm.
we are tackling drug and substance addiction. And
Mhm.
nobody is discussing this.
Okay, we've lost Sankara. I hope he will be coming back. We are just talking about the issue of goons, especially being used, especially to disrupt conversation about the country. And that is something that uh, we have to look at. We look at the long term. When we look at the long term, especially,
I don't know what happened.
okay, so maybe somebody was calling you.
Not really, but whichever the case,
Mhm.
we are dealing with unemployment, drug addiction, and nobody is discussing this. Leaders are concerned of the next election than the next generation. What kind of fathers are we raising? What kind of elders are we going to have in the next 20, 25 years? Because
Let me
young men are dead at 20s. They are only waiting to be buried at 60s, which I
let me
doubt if
let,
majority will see with the kind of lifestyle we are living. So we really need to discuss this matter as a nation, the
but
space of goons.
but Sankara, you can bear me witness because like you are somebody who was in the street of the June 2020 when there was a Gen Z revolt. At some point, we saw
Yes,
some figures on the street that carrying all this the rungus and all that, and some of them were even seen if you go to some of the international media stations, that you'd see that even there was some security. Then that one became a conversation. But the issue is this: is that the people who are doing this, they know very well what they are doing. Especially, they know the gap that we are having, especially by these young people, by giving them that small amount to cause mayhem. Uh, for them, I don't know what actually are they achieving, especially for when you come to the finance bill. And if you listen to that video of this young man who was arrested, he mentioned somebody's name who uh, he mentioned the CS name that is behind that.
yes,
And if it was a nation that is working, he could have been pressed further and substantiate, or he's just accusing the CS, you know, you know. And when you listen to the show
yes,
today,
yes,
according to Reverend Cannon, he's saying that individual was released. The people who lost their phones were reimbursed 24,000 of the property that they've lost. So you find that you are rewarding bad deeds without dealing with them.
Ben, sorry, whatever that just happened recently, we have power blackout.
Okay.
Since the CS took over, we are told power slips in Nyanza, but when two birds decide to lazily play on the cable lines, then there we go, complete blackout. This is a place which is less than 8 minutes drive to the city center of the
Yeah.
lakeside city of Kisumu. So it's unfortunate. Whatever you saw, I was in the streets. I witnessed this and I remember confronting the police around Moy Avenue,
Yeah.
the junction between Moy Avenue and Kenyatta Avenue,
Yep.
when goons got into sight and they were being escorted by the police. I approached the troop commander and I tasked him with the difficult question to explain to me as a layman why is in uniform, carrying a gun, and wearing a crown, financed and designated by the people of Kenya, and at the same time walking side by side by goons carrying weapons that do not align with the public, I mean, public pickpocketing procedures because they are armed. They are not police officers.
Yeah.
The first thing you should do is to arrest them because they are going against the provisions of a peaceful protest.
Mm-hmm.
It is peaceful unless I am armed. I mean,
Mm.
until I am armed, it
Yeah.
becomes a violent protest. In this case, the rioters are not armed, they are
Mm.
peaceful. But the people you are giving escort are armed. In whose interest are they armed? He couldn't respond to me. In fact, I was almost poking his eyes. I demanded tough answers because I felt what the goons did. Young
Mm-hmm.
women were robbed, young men were hurt. These
Mm-hmm.
boys are deep in drugs. They do not even care whether they are eating a human being or they are eating a concrete block.
Mm.
The rungus they are working with, those buttons are huge. They are not meant for human beings. They are meant for jembes. So you can
Mm.
imagine where we are as a country. We are not doing that fine. We are not doing that fine. And probably we are headed toward the worst scenario ever. If we do not really get independent police officers who took
Mm.
an oath to preserve and protect the
Mm-hmm.
constitution of Kenya, then
Mm-hmm.
we do not have a country. Because we just saw the
Okay.
other day,
Mm.
foreigners, one of the national leading national TV stations just made an expose on how foreigners are getting national
IDs.
identification cards. These are people who are going to be employed. These are people who are going to be employed to forces. So imagine
Mm.
an illegal immigrant with a Kenyan ID being the head of police who is supposed to manage border patrol. Do we have a
Mhm.
country?
Okay.
Is this person capable of saying no to goons?
That's
So
the
these are
question. Now,
critical questions that we need to ask.
okay, I know my time is running, but I need to, before you leave, we want to discuss about the Kangata issue, forget the politics, but also there was, I saw CS for Interior was talking about the metropolitan police, especially in Nairobi City. And I think they came to New York, and I think they went also to London to check on how they look at NYPD, and that is what they want
Mm.
to employ in Nairobi. Is a very good idea, but one thing I cannot dismiss what they learned, but I still feel if you've interacted, especially some people have interacted with how NYPD works. One, I don't know whether they will be resource refunding that NYPD, because like NYPD, you will find like for instance, they have the the police. They usually have um, the cars, the mobile cars that they roam with around. You know, that is one. Two, they also the intelligence. When you look at NYPD, they have an intelligence team that is so big that most majority of the people use them for intelligence. So they invest so much in their police, but we will see on where it's going to be. Then accessibility to the roads, especially in our slums areas, because when you talk about metropolitan, you don't only talk about within the city. You're talking about Nairobi city and its environs. We are going to see that. And now, maybe to begin with, let's leave Baradon. Yesterday, there was a rally, and we saw Irungu Kangata joining Linda Wanainchi, and he told them that they need to look for Rigathi Gachagua. To you, as somebody who is interacting in the political field, what does this one mean, especially in the field of politics?
I don't trust Irungu Kangata. He
Yeah.
will write the letter to the Linda Mwananchi Brigade, urging them to take a political trajectory. In fact, they should be very careful with him. To my own analysis, Irungu Kangata is a mole, and is there to note how things are happening. But before they realize it, it will be too late. So
Yeah.
for Irungu Kangata, to me, I believe is there to, achieve a political assignment.
Yeah. Okay, but remember the other day we had a pressure, and he said that he's not going to run on a UDA, and is now sharing a platform with Linda Mwananchi. That is a movement, is not a political party. Um, what? Why would you go to a movement that still does not have structures, if as we speak today?
And comes my that Irungu Kangata. Can you hear me, Ben?
You're kind of like breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're audible now.
Yes. So as I'm saying, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Irungu Kangata, you cannot leave a political party and join a movement. Kenyans do not participate in elections through movements. They participate in elections through political parties. And as long as the political parties are concerned, Linda Wanainchi may not catapult one into an elective seat directly.
Yeah.
So that is a lie. Irungu Kangata is there for a specific reason. And sooner or later, we will all come to realize and agree with my allegations that is
But
on assignment.
there are also those who are saying that, okay, because we know when you look at central Kenya, possibly majority of their leaders will vie through the DCP. So by him at some point vying for DCP and being seen at Linda Mwananchi, he's trying to scout for negotiation with the Linda Mwananchi, just in case they can form coalition in the future. So creating those roadmaps. Can that one be true, or those allegations might not hold some?
He is on an assignment. We may not be particular on what is exactly aiming at, but something for sure, the underlying concept is after something.
Okay, but what about
Yes.
when there are also those who believe that after surveying the area and like the way they see the reception of Linda Mwananchi has been getting, especially now they were in Thika, areas that were deemed to be against the Raila Amolo Odinga. So they feel like the Linda Mwananchi has surpassed that ODM outlook and now is gaining momentum, the popularity. So that's why they are also joining. Could that one also be a reason?
I don't know whether you can hear me, Ben.
Okay, I can. I don't know why you are breaking. Can you? I cannot hear you well. Hey, Judith, how are you doing? Sankara, I lost you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, but like you keep on breaking, but you can go ahead.
Sorry. Hello?
Yes.
For me, I can hear you right. I can
Okay,
hear
go ahead. I can hear you.
well. You know, where trees are many.
You're lost kabisa kabisa. Sasa sikupati hata kidogo. Tungekuwa na Sankara amepotea zaidi, lakini ni bado tutazungumza. Ni swali ambalo tulikuwa tunauliza kwamba tuliona jana Irungu Kangata alijiunga na Linda Mwananchi wakina Sifuna pale, na kuna maswali mengi ambao watu wanauliza kwa nini alijiunga na vuguvugu hilo, ama kwa nini alijipata akiwa pale. Wengi wanasema labda ni mtu ambaye amekuja kufanya ukachero, aangalia hawa watu wako vipi. Wengi wanasema kwamba ni wakati mwingine ambapo Murima wanajaribu kutafuta mbinu ya hao pia kukua katika unyang'anyiro, sana sana kwa viti ya urais, kwa zile kiti cha urais, labda wakuwe makamu ama Sankara, bado unanisikia kweli? Okay. So thank you so much, Sankara. I think we are not. Yes, Sankara, can you hear me?
Well.
Okay. Maybe somebody saying Kangata went to join the next government. Are you in agreement with that? Sankara? Sankara amepotea sana. Sasa sijui
To get you clearly, Ben.
Can you get me clearly?
Now I can hear you. Yes, very clearly.
Okay, thank you so much. And we are having some around 19 minutes, so we can close. So when you look at the Linda Mwananchi and Kangata coming, there are those who have this opinion that Linda Mwananchi is gaining popularity across the nation. So that could be the reason why Kangata came in.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be so that to make negotiation, especially through his party that he will be vying with?
You know, political negotiations are only inter-party.
Yeah.
I still maintain Linda Mwananchi is not an outfit that can run for any seat, whereas people in Linda Mwananchi can still run because they are individuals, and our constitution provides for independent candidature. So not unless they take that trajectory, it is difficult to gauge. But what I can tell you for sure is that Irungu Kangata is after something. He is an agent on a mission. Yes.
So how will especially, because Linda Mwananchi is the topic of town right now, people are having conversation over Linda Mwananchi. How will Linda Mwananchi deal with infiltration, especially from outsiders or from their competitors, knowing very well that it is a movement, it doesn't have political structures? Because, for instance, let's say today somebody decide to leave the way Caleb Amisi, from the look of things, is on his exit. How are they going to deal with infiltration? How are they going to deal with those who are leaving or might have intention of departing from that government?
Well, you know, political oping is not alien in Kenya's perspective. There's something that has been happening over and over, and probably it's gonna happen this time around. So the only remedy they can have is to highlight people who are aligning objectives or aligning missions and visions.
Yeah.
Because you know, working with politicians is very difficult. Having been in active politics, I can tell you a politician is somebody you are discussing with the next move. Now you finish the call or the meeting, they call another place to auction the discussion in the name of intelligence. You know, so it is very difficult. Even those people don't trust each other. That is something I can tell you. Yes.
Okay, now let's still be on the Linda Mwananchi. We are seeing Caleb Amisi is trying to have an alternative opinion, and claiming that the movement has deviated from their route or their path, and he's deciding that he's going to form a movement that will replace that of Linda Mwananchi. Do you see him succeeding, especially with the momentum that the Linda Mwananchi has gained?
For me, I had seen this coming long time ago. I once visited Mrs. office anonymously,
Yeah.
and the question of renaissance and blah blah. So I asked him, uh, "What is the position of my friend Babu Wino in his party?" He told me he is not privy to their involvement in any capacity, as this is purely his party and nobody. Because we were mentioning other figures and we're asking who are financing him and blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not a good idea because two candles only make different candles only make the room brighter when both of them are shining. So
Mm,
trying to create splinter groups is killing the primary momentum of the movement.
yeah.
But his beliefs are equally right because when you joining a train, you probably have a destination you want to get to. If so, if he has ambitions and believes that the vehicle is not going to take them to power, then he
Mm,
has all the constitutional freedom
yeah.
to chant his own political move. But this is to the detrimental effect of young people because when are we going to unite and work together? The problem we have as young people is noticeability. Everyone wants to be seen as me alone. But the people we are fighting are so united. They sit, and that brings me to a point.
Mm-hmm.
The animal kingdom.
Mm,
Some animals, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others.
the others.
Because it's like in an animal kingdom where the lion vies for presidency, and he says, from today henceforth, I'm going to be a vegetarian when I'm elected as the president.
Mm,
And all the animals vote in favor of the lion.
mm,
In a nutshell, divide them and rule them. So rabbits are going to speak their own language after chewing carrots.
mm-hmm.
Zebras are going to, I mean, divide them, let them fight amongst themselves, then
Yeah.
we win. We don't win by disrupting the movement. They are not disrupting Linda Mwananchi. They are
Mm.
disrupting Linda Mwananchi by making those who believed in the primary objects of Linda Mwananchi to fight against each other. It is that simple. You divide and rule.
So, like from the look of things and how the politics are shaping up today, and you bring in the young people who in every political cycle, including even the one that brought in President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta, where there was issues to do with analog and digital. I think you remember that, and it's talking about the generational change, and this has always been in the political narratives. How is this one going to be different with the other elections that I've always talked about, the old guards and the young guards, bearing in mind that the same young people are the ones that are used by this political elite to fight each other?
Um, it is very difficult to
Mm,
mobilize
yeah.
and empower the generation towards a meaningful cause.
Mhm.
I repeat, it's very difficult to mobilize and empower the generation
Yeah.
to move a
Mm,
political cause.
yeah.
Because, just as I repeated myself, divide them and rule them.
Yeah.
These very, very young people, those who are speaking loud, the system don't negotiate much.
Yeah,
The system, someone see and ask you, okay, you have this, you don't have this. Who doesn't want to live good?
nobody,
They
everybody.
are, yeah, their needs are satisfied instantly, and a
Mm,
directive is given that you either toe the line or you
mm,
become the line.
mm,
And that's how we end up with missing voices. So this
mm,
election, in a nutshell, Ben,
mm,
I don't see anything positive coming out of this election. And I do say I am a Gen Z myself. I believe Gen Zs are Gen Zs until we retreat back to our ethnic extractions. A
mm,
Kikuyu Gen Z will always be a Mwangi. A Luo Gen Z will always be Ochieng.
mm,
And a Giriama Gen Z will always be Mwamkita.
mm.
And there is nothing we are going to do about it. We are only Gen Zs as we are speaking collectively now. Wait until people travel back to their villages to go and participate in the elections. That is when you will come to realize that this Gen Z was just a notion in motion.
Mm. Um, uh, so then how is that change going to come? This change that
Change
every
will come.
when?
That is that change will only come
Mhm.
when people start feeling the pain of the status quo.
Yeah. All
It
right.
will only happen when they start feeling that it's time for change. Actually, change will just roll itself
Mm,
because we've had people in the country whereby if the primary schools are not doing well, the public primary schools, they take their kids to the private schools. When
mm,
public health is not working, they run to private hospitals and they don't voice out concern in the public hospitals.
mm,
So we also have the middle class, the upper middle class, the lower middle class, and those at the bottom of the pyramid. The
yeah.
struggle is real.
Mm,
Yes, everyone is feeling like they are doing better in their own circle, and it is not a me problem, it is a them problem. So until and we all collectively realize that it is a us problem and not a them me problem, we are going to speak progressively.
so
But,
how can we? Okay, go ahead.
but until then, we're
Mm,
still going to face the same challenges with the same people, with the same people because everyone is feeling they're doing well in their own dimensions, in their own capacity, and not collectively.
mm,
So the only way to change the status quo is to educate the masses. But I've maintained
mm.
knowledge without empowerment is dangerous.
So, talking about empowerment, because at some point we have to know uh, the empowerment that maybe you are speaking about, because so many a times we've seen even the government, especially all the members of parliament, they would go in a certain region and have women empowerment and youth empowerment, and you find that they are given a large sum of money, maybe to buy some equipment so that they can run their group to generate for them money. How impactful is this if, especially the market is not made in a favorable condition for them? And this one we are talking about the taxes, and and maybe the security of where they are operating. The environment is not favorable. Yet,
Ben, allow me cut you short. Those are not empowerments. Those are political igiagas. You are not empowering women when you splash a lot of money and do not teach them how to make money from the money you've given.
but from their
You do not
flyers,
empower people. You
yeah.
do not empower people through handouts. When I
Mm,
speak about empowerment,
yeah.
development is constitutional. It's not political.
Yes.
I have always maintained that.
Yeah.
This empowerment I'm referring to is an empowerment where the environment is made conducive. where
mm,
the taxman is informed that this is indeed a growing enterprise, not an
mm,
established enterprise. An empowerment I'm referring to is where systems work. You know what? Now you're in the United States of America, and you know pretty well that development in those regions, they are not political, they are constitutional.
yeah.
Empowerment is never, no country has developed through supermarket economy. Kenya, we are running our economy on a supermarket economy. Tell me one simple thing we are exporting out of this country apart from tea, which cartels have also infiltrated. We can only empower the people when we embark on industrialization. What am I talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You are seeing cartels importing sugar and then rebranding them and packaging them in the local existing, previously dead or currently dead manufacturing industries. We
Yeah.
can only empower the people when we create a money movement highway
Mm-hmm.
where there is a road connecting production to, producers to production to
Yeah.
consumption, and the cycle continues. We
Mm,
are only going to empower people when we tell them how to fish and not supply the fish.
mm,
The political innuendos you are seeing where fish is being taken to the people, that is not empowerment, that is enticement, dependency. It is a psychological game being created for people to depend on what comes easily, quickly, than
quickly.
what they can do for them. The people should ask politicians what they can do with themselves, not what politicians can do for us. It is not about giving people money in the streets and calling it empowerment. Empowerment is about making. Sorry, Ben, the electricity is back. I think Opia Wanda has been informed that we are in complete blackout.
Okay.
So I can
Maybe.
move back to.
Yeah, you can move back, but you can also say your last remark as we close. So maybe tomorrow we can continue with we can make programs. So if tomorrow you're not so much busy, we can organize on our way. This week we can have some good discussion. How about that?
Yeah. Yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
So I will still maintain that development, our empowerment is not what we see.
Mm,
Empowerment is structural.
mm,
It is when planned and executed in a particular framework that
mm,
meets the people's expectations, not what you see happening around. And that's why I still maintain those are mere political igiagas that do
mm,
not translate to meaningful empowerment, as you put it. You
okay.
cannot empower people by standing on, platforms, Ben, and then you give out money, which is not even enough. When you do your calculations well, there was a time Kenyans did that mathematics and they came out with a closing figure of 62 shillings. What is 62 shillings in this economy? Can it
Oh,
even buy a packet of unga? No.
so
And
we
the media,
so Sankara, where maybe there's a disconnect somewhere, especially even if you listen to the larger population, depending especially from where you're supporting, especially those who are supporting those who agree with the government of the day, versus those who do not agree with the government of the day. You will get to know how they think, especially when talking about the empowerment. And if you look at it very keenly, it is the empowerment to some means that giving you a huge sum of money, as a group. Yeah,
Ben,
yeah,
Ben, you know what? I'm fairly informed on these matters.
yeah.
And when I speak about or against the so called empowerment, I
Mm,
speak from a point of information,
yes.
knowledge,
Hmm.
and observation, not a point of ignorance.
Mm,
I have interacted with people who've been quote unquote part of those development programs.
hmm.
There is nothing substantial happening in those circles apart from collecting people in circles and groups, giving them something, a token of appreciation. That is a token of appreciation, probably a 300, 200 shillings. And we
Mm,
call that empowerment. These
Mm,
people are very smart in their programs. They
mm,
bring people forward, they call them, then those who are given the opportunity to be at the forefront
mm,
are given something. I know this is now, classified. They are
mm.
given something small, and even chaos erupts in the midst of that empowerment, and the rest are sent home empty-handed in the name of chaos erupted. So it's not something that is progressive. It's
Mhm.
not something that is structured. It is just happening for the sake of being seen and being done.
Okay.
It is not premised uh, how do we call it? For lack of a better term, it is not premised on consistency and
Mm.
sustainability.
Yeah. It,
Yes, they want to be seen. They are not there to sort your problems. Tell me, why would somebody fly choppers, six of them or three of them, to go and open a water tap, not a bowl, in some village in Western Kenya?
Sankara, hiyo yako hata ni uliona, sijui juzi hapa nilikuwa
Mm,
nimeingia katika mtandao nikaona jirani wetu Tanzania, nilikuwa na
mm,
maviongozi walikuwa wanakata hiyo ribbon ya
mm,
hizi, sijui kama ni ukweli. Unajua kwa mtandao huwezi jua hizi ten ambao tunatumia kuweka takataka. Unaona maviongozi, unaona huyu ni kiongozi,
mm,
lakini za kuweka takataka wanakata. Sijui kama ulikutana na
mm.
picha katika mtandao.
Sifuatiliangi sana matukio ya jirani wetu, kwa kuwa jirani amekuwa na madharau mingi sana. Amekuwa akituona, na mimi mwenyewe marafiki zangu wawili waliweza kupotezwa na serikali ya jirani.
Ambapo hajaonekana. Nakumbuka hiyo kitu.
Kuna rafiki yangu anaitwa Dusdet Soka ambaye
Hajawahi
amepotezwa, I think 3 years now. Kuna rafiki
hajawahi
yangu hajawahi patikana, hawajawahi onekana, na kuna hisia kati ya wale washirika wenzao ama wenzetu ambao wako kule, wakidai kwamba huenda waliuawa. Ipo rafiki yangu anaitwa Mdude Nyangale, nilikuwepo na wao hapa jijini Nairobi.
nakumbuka.
Waliweza kupotezwa mmoja baada ya mwingine, na mmoja wao alikwisha kimbilia huku na tena akatoroka akaenda nchi nyingine, manake kuna ile uzoefu kati ya Kenya na Tanzania na Uganda. Wale ambao wanapinga serikali wakija huku, kuna mbinu wanatumia kufuatiliwa na kupotezwa, haswa Kilimani na ndani ya mji wa Nairobi. Sasa vijana walipotea wakatoroka. Sasa mi huwa sifuatilii kwa karibu maneno ya mama na nchi yake, manake wewe hutuona kama viumbe adhifu,
Hapa ni dhaifu katika
dhaifu.
unajua lakini sisi, unajua sisi labda tutafute habari ili tukuletee hapa, lakini unajua labda kama tujafunga, kuna vitu ambazo labda maswali ambayo sisi inafaa tuliulize kama nchi, kwamba matukio ambayo tunaona katika nchi jirani, unadhani kuna uwezekano labda siku moja zinaweza kuwa matukio katika nchi yetu, ama sisi demokrasia yetu imekuwa sana?
Unajua, mi huwa naambia watu kila siku ya kwamba manchi zetu jirani bado wako kwenye miaka za ukoloni, miaka 70. Kama kule Tanzania wanatumia katiba ya mwaka 1978. Hivi sasa tuko karne ya 21, mwaka wa 2026. Mtu anatumia vipengele ambavyo viliundwa na kubuniwa na wakoloni kuongoza taifa la Tanzania. Hatuwezi kuwa pamoja. Kenya ikiwa itafikia kiwango cha hivyo nchi mbili, basi Afrika kote tutakuwa tumezama. Hatuwezi kubali. Hata wao viongozi wanajua sisi si wale. Sisi hujitokeza, sisi hujilinda, sisi hujitetea. Hatungoji kutetewa, huwa tunajitetea.
Okay. Ndugu yangu Sankara, mimi nimepiga asante sana. Tutaongea hata kesho, itabidi tuingie tena hapa tuendelee na mazungumzo, sana sana masuala ambayo inakumba nchi yetu, na vile vile viongozi ambao sisi labda tunawazungumzia kwa yale hawatendi mema na wale pia wanatenda mema. Mimi nimeshukuru sana, najua baada ya hapa ndakupigia simu ili tuzungumze zaidi.
Ben, inaniuma wanasiasa wanapozungumzia masuala ya empowerment na uongozi ujao bila kuizingatia maslahi ya kizazi kijayo. Hatujui tunaelekea wapi kama taifa. Iwapo mtu ambaye ni raia wa nchi ya kigeni anaweza kupokea huduma za mwananchi mzalendo wa Kenya kwa kupitia njia zisizo sahihi, basi hata sisi wenyewe wenye nchi hatupo salama, sababu nchi za kigeni wale ambao tunashiriki kwenye biashara mbalimbali huenda wakatupa kadi nyekundu kwa pasipoti zetu kuwa hatuko salama, na hata wananchi wao wako salama kwa patana na wananchi wetu, na sio sisi wa Kenya. Ni watu fulani wameamua Kenya ikuwe tu ni kama kama njugu. That is so unfair. That is so unfair. In fact, in a working democracy, Ben, after the NTV expose, sahi watu wangeshaanza kunyongwa pale archives. Unasikia ati Somali national serving in a high ranking health ministry department. How? Why are you even giving a foreigner job in a Kenyan government? It is against the law.
Haya, sasa sio wabunge wenyu wao, wabunge ndio sasa.
Hatuna bunge, tuko na group ingine hapa, ni watu tu wako na masuala mingi wanajitetea, lakini hakuna kitu kama bunge. Hiyo ni jengo tu. Bunge tunayo, lakini wabunge ndio hatuna.
Okay. Asante sana ndugu yangu kwa wakati wako. Mimi najua ndakupigia simu hata kuendeleze mazungumzo. Kwa wale ambao wanatutazama sana sana katika Kikao na Sauti, tunasema asanteni sana, na wale pia wako katika Brother Benson Media pia tunasema asante sana. Kesho pia tukutane ili tukuwe na mazungumzo. Asanteni sana, tuonane kesho kwa masaa kama ya saizi. Asante sana.
Sawa sawa, asante sana Ben.
Okay, ndakupigia.